Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome. Today I have a very important video. I hope that you will like it, and please, if you already saw this information, then well, I just wanted to make as more people as possible to see that. So this is the chart of Bitcoin right now, and we will return to that a little bit later. What I would like to show to you guys is very bullish indicator, at least it seems to me to be so. This is the chart of, let's switch to the daily. This is the chart of the capitalization, total capitalization of the altcoins on the market, from excluding Bitcoin. So all the crypto excluding Bitcoins, only altcoins, from January up to now. It was forming this sort of descending wedge, and technically, if you have this wedge formed from the rising trend, this is usually technically should be broken upwards eventually, with like relatively same rise as it has in the basis. Well, it depends, but still it has potential of going upwards eventually. Really strong possibility. So what we do see now is that for all the time we were declining. There was a relatively calm period, and now basically today we broke this wedge. Moreover, we broke this wedge on the higher volume, and this volume was about this, well, a little lower of course than it was here, but similar to it was around this area. But there was a lot of much more capital was here, much more players, much more small retailers, and so on. Here we have much less people in the market, but still the volume is really high. The overall performance is really nice, and we see nice correction and sort of a return after that. So the thing is, if this will stay above this wedge, if it will be not a false break upwards, then it is very likely that the altcoin season is about to start. So if it will, then guys, then the bottom was set, and this is the time to buy alts, to buy Bitcoin, to go, as I wrote in the title, all in. Of course, don't go to all in. Let's call it the the clickbait title, but otherwise I will not be able to attract your attention. But it really is. It's if not now, then when you better to go all in. It's the best time to confirm best confirmation of all times we had so far. If we will grow above, or will stay above this line, I would say this is the time we need to buy. Also, if you will compare it with the this Bitcoin dominance, you would see that there's a lot of swings of Bitcoin dominance, and it was rising from like April, May, up until September. It was the highest point, and then it was sort of sideways, up and down, small swings, and then we had finally, it's actually was sort of the wedge as well. It's, well, maybe not a wedge, it's if you can even make a sort of a triangle, right, like that. But the thing is that this triangle wasn't broken down, it was broken up, despite it was the descending triangle. But now it is very possible to be the false breakout, and now we see the drop of this dominance. If we'll go below this level, it is very likely to happen that we will go to the previous like 50% and lower of Bitcoin dominance, and this will continue to rise. We will see a very strong upwards movement on altcoins. That would mean that the confidence was returned to the market, and the more bullish momentum we will see in the next few weeks, months, years maybe. Considering all the bullish news which will happen in the Q1 2019, possibly happen, that is the perfect time to start. Okay, guys, this is the most important thing which I was going to I wanted to share with you. And now let's look at the less exciting but still really interesting things, namely Bitcoin behavior. So what we do see here is that, of course, there are two sentiment in the market. First is that after such a long bearish period, people they don't believe in the rallies, right? And they say, you see, we went up so much, it is time to have a correction, and correction should be strong, and we even may go very low, much lower than the previous low. That is actually what I would like to see. I want to buy altcoins and Bitcoin even lower. However, guys, if you look, for example, at the daily chart, first what you can see is that you may see a start of formation of the inverse head and shoulders. So this is the first shoulder, this is the head, and we may have a second shoulder. Yeah, we can make a correction. If it will be a second shoulder, then we will return, break this neckline, and then we will go higher, maybe up to 5,500, something like that. This is the first thing. Second thing is that this is basically the rally. Then this red candle, you can think of this as as a correction. So when people say there wasn't correction, yes, there was a correction, and it was a reasonable correction actually. Now we consolidated and we have a new rise from that point. And this rise may lead to, if it is a bullish pennant, we can lead to even to pennant, we can go to like 4,700 or something, and that was the level which I pointed out before. So the thing is, as I already mentioned, stated several times before in previous videos, as already written in my Telegram and Twitter and everything, I would like it to go lower, but if it will go lower, I have my fiat ready. If not, I already bought somewhere at the like 4,000 and 3,800, a little bit, not that much, but a little bit, to make myself safe from the fact that Bitcoin will go up, and if it will go up without me, it will be very disappointing. So I just bought a little bit. So if it will go up, I will still have something, especially in altcoins, and I will just have this position, and it will be great. So otherwise, I will be just staying with my fiat, hoping it will go lower, but it will never go lower. Don't think that I FOMO'd in. No, I just made a little buy, but considering all the things which I said previously with the altcoin season and everything, I think it's a reasonable bet in my opinion. So this is two different sentiment in the market. Finally, what you can see as well is that now I try to play devil's advocate, and let's say you are looking at the lows. So I just draw these lines around here. You can see that every following low was actually higher than the previous one, but the increment here is less and less and less. So technically we see that the bulls are sort of out of steam, and we are approaching to the point when we may see a reversal. So if they will return to 4,000 level, if it will be a pullback to this point, then it's really likely that after testing it we can break down and then it return. Then we can indeed draw this second shoulder or even go lower. That's really possible. So you just can see it from the technicals around here. If we'll just test 4,100 and go above, then the next level is 4,700, and this is the area with a lot of stops for shorts, and this thing which will move the price much higher. As also, I must say that if you look at the longs, and actually again let's look at the longs at the separate plot. So we were increasing the long position like very not slightly, but not that noticeably from October, and then we were increasing it, increasing. Then we dropped because of the Bitcoin movement, price movement, and then we're trying to increase it. And what you can see, this is the first rise, was the correction, and this is another rise. So it seems like, of course, this is a very statistical and speculative information, but based on that, you can see that the market is actually pretty much bullish. So another thing which I was going to mention is that if we will look at the RSI, let's include it here. If you look at RSI, then what you can see is that from the point of, maybe like this, from the point of November, middle of November, we had the lows of RSI rising, increasing, and the lows of the price of Bitcoin decreasing. It would mean that we have this bullish divergence. We had this bullish divergence when the price going lower, but RSI is going higher. And somewhere that should change, and it did change at this point at December 15th or something, when we had the price finally go up. So based on RSI and this divergence, it means that there was sort of a reversal here. How time scale, what is the time scale for this reversal? It's not clear, but it's apparently there. Finally, what is good to look at is it's worth watching moving averages. And let's say we are in a 4 hours chart, so let's turn on 200 days moving average, 50-day moving average, and what it is, 100 days moving average. Let's do it, and let me change the color like that. 100 days. So what you can see here, wait a second, this is 100, this is 50. Where is it? Wait a second. Okay, I just turned it off. So when you look at it, you can see that now, just at the very at this point, this 204 hours moving average. Of course, you can change the scale, but you'll also change the number of the averaging, the scale of averaging. So, but now, let's say 4 hours chart. What you can see here is that we are approaching 200 moving average, crossing with the 54 hours moving average, and this is so-called golden cross. There was another golden cross when 1500 was crossed, and at that point, you see, we had the rise. Previously, all the time we had the opposite sort of so-called death cross, when for example, the moving average 50 days or hours moving average is crossing 200 from the top, but now it's crossing from the bottom, which is very, very bullish indicator. And now one golden cross, second golden cross, it's just super bullish, guys. Super duper bullish. It will have that cross just right now, and it will continue to be like that. Then we are very, very strong in terms of the market behavior, price movement for the next, I don't know, days or weeks. So this is the one thing. Also, you can see that, for example, Ether. Let's look at Ether. This was sort of the bottom, right? Well, not really the bottom, but sort of consolidation. And now how it looks like: rise, flat, rise, flat, rise, very small correction, rise, small correction, rise, flat, rise, flat. It's very parabolic, right? Actually, here it's already crossed this 200 4 hours moving average. So what it means, that first it should be a huge correction, but it's already was at so much bottom that this is merely a reversal, in my opinion. So we may indeed go very high again from this point. And also, if you look at the longer time scale, like period from what it is, September, you see that there was a very, very bearish period for let's say Ether. And if we'll break again here, then there's basically not so much of the resistance, maybe up to 0.04 Bitcoin. if it will happen, then yeah, like we are going up, see? And the same picture you can notice for a lot of the altcoins out there. So they are all very technically bullish despite of the significant rise that they had. So just, of course, everything which I say is my personal opinion, not a financial advice. I'm not a professional advisor, I'm not a professional trader even. So what I can say to you is just what I'm doing right now. So I'm looking at this altcoins. Of course, the safest bets are the like top 10, top 20, even though they are so high, you say, but man, they are made so much of the gains. It's just crazy to buy right now when they just rose like 50% or something like that. But yeah, it's indeed crazy, and you may appear to be buying at the top, but you also may appear to be buying not now, but like when they made 100%. So I would say just better to buy a little bit and rise when it will be more confident. Look at all those indicators, yours indicators as well. But what I'm doing, I'm not looking at the major altcoins, but I'm looking at those altcoins which were technically and fundamentally seeming to be strong, but they didn't make this jump yet. And one of my best bets so far, which I was continuing to say to you, to tell you, is Quark Chain. It's relatively new. From August, it made it low with respect to Bitcoin. It made it low and was continuing to grow and grow. The low was at 300 Satoshis. Now it is 1000 Satoshis. So it's made 3x from that point, actually a little bit higher. And it was a decent correction. It was a lot of volume here. It was a lot of volume around the bottom. And then we're going up. We are testing this channel, both support line, and now we actually are breaking it. But we may go a little lower. We may even, if we will extend this line, we may even test this line. If we'll go to that, I would definitely buy more. But I want to buy even now, considering the fact that all this period, all the altcoins were going high or up, but Quark Chain was going low. It was about to test this, to let me and other people load their bags. Not financial advice, guys, but me personally, I would consider this to be one of the best performance in the next nearby future. Well, maybe not, but I will definitely consider to buy this guy. So that is pretty much it, except just news about the Token Taxonomy Act of 2018. If you didn't see this, maybe it's just a bit too much on the side of the rumors, but you know, buy the rumors, sell the news. And they proposed it, that SEC, they proposed that there may be the exclusion for digital token digital tokens will be excluded from this act, Security Exchange Act of 1934, when we have the currently when a lot of the assets are considered to be securities. So currently tokens are, well, it's arguable, but they may be considered as securities. If they will be excluded from that, then, well, you know, a lot of perks will happen, like tax exclusions from the tax gains, capital gains from for the taxes will be with exclusion of the digital tokens. Also some impact on the markets. A lot of people will come here because of the additional profits here and much bigger liquidity, and just major better sort of sentiment in the regulatory perspective for digital tokens, including a lot of altcoins and Bitcoin, of course, and everything. So very bullish if it will happen. But that's it, guys. I hope that it wasn't that long. And so if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel, because it will help it to grow and more people will see it, and I hope that some people will find it reasonable and it will help them to make better decisions on the market, and it will make incentive for me to continue to make better content and to help you guys as well. So please subscribe, leave your comment, leave your like, and if you disagree with me, please write why. Be objective. I want to see, want to read other opinions. So thanks again for being with me in this video. I hope that I didn't forget anything, because I was going to talk like for hours about the current situation in the market, and I really could, but it will take, you will not be able to be with me for that long. So again, thank you for being with me. Hope to see you tomorrow in the next update, because I'm doing them daily for already months. I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. Please return back to my channel. See you guys. Safe trading. Goodbye.